live to you still here at the AAM2025 annual meeting at the Transcorp Event Center in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Of course, let's take those conversations we've had earlier further and look at other aspects of deepening trade across Africa, bringing new ideas and innovation to the table, talking about leisure, hospitality, and of course how we can also increase funding across the continent. Let me introduce you to my second guest on the show tonight, Olusola, who is the Chief Executive Officer at Dova Value Africa. Good evening, madam. Welcome to the show. We're not strangers to interviews, so I'm sure you've done this a couple of times. Give me a sense of this conference and what you think the economic path for growth potential in Africa should be. Let's take that as an opening sequence.
Thank you very much, Bosin. I'm really glad to be here. I think it's really been an interesting and exciting workshop and session that AfroEximbank is having. The discussions are great, but beyond them focusing on problems, what I see coming across is really about a solution mindset. So it doesn't feel like a normal talk shop. It's coming across about the development across Africa. For me personally, I think that Africa is ripe. We are really at a point, at an inflection point, and an inflection point actually as well, where we have so many opportunities across Africa, and it's really on us as a continent to really start to take advantage of this. I must commend Professor Rama and AfroEximbank for the work that they have done. They've invested from inception over $150 billion on the continent, and Nigeria alone has taken $52 billion of these funds, and it's gone into trade, it's gone into innovation, and these are critical sectors, critical areas that Africa needs to invest in for us to really be able to tap into the growth that exists within us as a continent. So the conversations are real, but again, like I said, they're focusing on innovation, they're focusing on trade, and they're focusing on really moving the needle to be able to pivot Africa beyond where we are right now. And I think Africa is ready, so the conversation is timely.
We talk about capital, and human capital is important, and we want to see philanthropy. We want to see everyone come in between to support what AfroEximbank is doing and plug into the pipeline that Dr. Rama and the rest of his team are creating. So where do you see Dova Capital Africa in that?
So for us, first let me start by saying, I know you said philanthropy,
yes,
but the first thing I'm going to say is that Africa is ready for trade and not aid. So for Africa as well, we need to start looking at collaboration, partnerships, and not charity. I think if you look at the South Asian countries, you see that the ones that have moved the farthest are the ones that have not depended on aid. So for the conversation for now, it is really about trade, it is about partnerships, it is about collaboration, it is about innovation. So for us at Dova, what we're looking at is how do we create value for Africa? And it is beyond, the natural resources that we have. Population is our strength. The youth population is a strength. But we now really need to see that how do we invest in value adding to the resources, to the products that we go. That's why I like what AfroExim is doing. When you look at things like the industrial park that they're creating, that actually provides an opportunity for manufacturing, for logistics, for adding value to our natural resources. You see that it is really where we need to take Africa. It's now beyond, everybody has a role to play, from the government to the private sector, to even you, to us individuals, to the media. Everybody has a role to play in really beginning to change the narrative of Africa.
Yes, one of the sectors you spent some of your recent years in the hospitality, leisure, business, and I'm sure as far as this premises is concerned, facility, you are home. Talk to me about hotel, leisure, hospitality investing. Give me just 1 minute as a parting shot.
For me, the first thing I'm going to say that I'm excited to even be here today. This is what legacy is about. And if we take it to the conversation of Africa, this is how leaders should think. We started off this project, so coming into this space is exciting. The continuity. I always want to be able to come to Transcorp Hotels and Transcorp Hilton and see that they've actually done better. They've gone beyond where I took it. And that is what leadership in Africa should begin to look at. There is great opportunity within hospitality, within leisure, within infrastructure, within all the areas within Africa that is actually going to move the needle. If you look at the African Continental Free Trade Zone, that alone has over 3.4 trillion that we can tap into if we do things right. And so hospitality, leisure, all of those sectors, you know, jobs, creation of jobs, creation of wealth for us as a nation is really important.
So you're just telling me the Transcorp is tapping into the $3.4 billion?
We are going to continue to tap into it. For me, it's about legacy. It's about continuity, and it's about delivering results.
We'll tap into that as well. Thank you so much. Tap into your wealth of knowledge and insight into all of this. Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
Thank you so much.
As a delegate at the Afreximbank annual meetings. Dupe Olusola, the CEO at Dova Capital Africa.